Hello and welcome to Tabletop 24, and thank you for joining us for another unboxing. This time we are opening the Hero Pack for War Machine from Marvel Champions. Now this has been delayed on UK shores for a little while, and we have been waiting for this one, eagerly anticipating it. There are a few new mechanics for War Machine, which I'm really excited and looking forward to. So as always, inside one of each of these packs, we do have our hero poster, which will also give you some of the keywords or effects or deck building advice. So there we have our War Machine. Okay, so we're going to crack straight into War Machine himself. Okay. The War Machine's going to be playing around with ammo counters, I believe, once we get in there. We'll start off with game throws. So, action, choose a War Machine card in your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. And after you change to this form, discard each ammo counter from your identity. So you're going to want to be getting in that ammo, use that ammo as War Machine, and then flipping it back over so you don't lose out. War Machine. So War Machine's seeing those sort of average stats: 1 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense, with a hand size of only 5, so similar to Iron Man, and then with hit points of 10 to start off with. So locked and loaded. Response: after you change to this form, place 5 ammo counters on War Machine. So ammo counters are going to be important, and we'll get through that as we go. But hopefully we're going to see something to bring that hand size up a little bit, maybe. Obviously, those that have got 5 and only 10 hit points, they tend to be a bit clunky. We know obviously Hulk with his hand size is quite painful to work with. So first off up, we have Iron Man as a ally. So 3 cost, 2 thwart, 2 attack with 3 hit points. And after he enters play, search your deck discard pile for a tech upgrade, add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So that's really nice there for those sort of upgrades that we're going to be hopefully looking for War Machine. It's a shame that he is obviously a War Machine specific card, because that would be quite nice with the likes of Rocket Raccoon. Next up, we have Munitions Bunker. So, in order of eager action, exhausting it and getting additional ammo counters, and then you can use those as War Machines. So, that's sort of building up with those extra ammo. Then we have an upgraded chassis, so straight away getting those tech upgrades. And War Machine will gain aerial, and after you change hero form, exhaust upgraded chassis and give War Machine a tough status card. So quite nice there as tough on demand. Then we have 2 copies of Gauntlet Gun, which will be exhausting to generate a wild resource for a War Machine event and place 1 ammo counter on War Machine. So really helping to push through on those events. Then we have a missile launcher. So again, another tech weapon. As a hero action, exhaust missile launcher and remove 1 ammo counter from War Machine. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. So nice sort of ping damage there. Next up, we have shoulder cannon. So War Machine's infamous shoulder cannon. Exhaust shoulder cannon, deal 1 damage to an enemy. You may remove 1 ammo count from War Machine to ready shoulder cannon. So it's sort of really relying on those ammo counters to ping through and push that through. Then we have 2 copies of Repulse Beam. So as a hero action, remove 1 ammo count from War Machine and deal 4 damage to an enemy. So really quite nice. And it's only 1 cost. Probably one of the better uses of the ammo counters, I believe, that we will see. Then we have 2 copies of Targeted Sight, another 1 cost. Hero action, remove 1 ammo counter from War Machine and remove 3 threat from a scheme. So again, similar, but just focus on that threat. 2 copies of Scorched Earth. So for 3 cost, remove 3 ammo counters from War Machine and deal 3 to each enemy in play. So really useful sort of those Ultron decks or those high minion decks that you might be coming across. And we have finally 2 copies of Full Auto. So remove 4 ammo counters from War Machine and choose an enemy, deal 8 damage to that enemy. This attack brings overkill. So really nice to push through those minions that you might see. It is only 2 costs, but you are going to need 4 ammo counters. So it's probably one of the trickier straight up decks I've seen. I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge to manage those ammo counters, because he's not really doing too much without those ammo counters. So it's going to be an interesting resource management to get War Machine really firing. Okay, so in the box, he's going to come with leadership. So Black Panther, so starting to round out our base heroes as allies. 2 cost, 2 thwart, but getting 2 consequential on each of those. And with only 4 health means you're only going to get 2 uses out of him. And you may play the event attached to Black Panther as if it were in your hand. So when he's entering play, choose a leadership event from your discard pile and attach it to him face down. So really useful to cycle through those cards and bring them back whenever you want to use them. And another base set hero, Captain Marvel. After Captain Marvel enters play, discard the top 4 cards of your deck. If you discarded a printed lightning energy resource, deal 3 damage to an enemy. If you discard more than 1 printed, also stun it. So really nice, and you're really leaning on that sort of resource build. From already we can see there's 3 of those. I'll say 3, 6, 5 of those in War Machine's deck, and we'll probably see a few more in here as we go. So 5 costs though, but does do 3 attack for 2 consequential damage, so could be quite punishing. Then we have Falcon. After Falcon enters play, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each treachery looked at this way, remove 1 threat from the scheme. Really quite nice getting some preview of the encounter deck and seeing what's going through there. Next up we have Goliath. So after Goliath gets +4 attack until the end of phase. At the end of phase, discard Goliath. So really want to get through a couple of punches early and then gain that extra 4 attack and getting that 5 out. And that is at the end of the phase, so you don't even get to block him through, which is a bit of a shame, but for a decent ability like that, you can understand it. Next up, we have 3 copies of Command Team. So uses 3 command counters and removing one of those to ready an ally. That can be quite useful. Really punching through those allies as soon as you've got them out. 3 copies of Sneak Attack. So choose an ally in your hand that shares a trait with your identity. Put that ally into play. If that ally is still in play at the end of the phase, discard it. So really wanting to get those allies out, but again, end of the phase, so it's a bit tricky to pull that through. So 3 copies of Saving the Day. Discard an ally you control, remove threat from a scheme equal to that ally's printed cost. So another use for sort of getting allies through. And we have Go Down Swinging, 3 copies of. Discard an ally you control, deal damage to an enemy equal to that ally's printed cost. So again, really using and abusing your allies. You've got 2 copies of Make the Call, which we've seen previously. So pay the printed cost of an ally in the discard pile and put that ally into play under your control. And you can do that from anybody's discard pile, so which is quite useful. We've got a single copy of Innovation. So it's after you spend this card, deal 1 damage to an ally you control. So although it's a wild resource, possibly useful, but so it's heal 1 damage. Apologies. So yeah, it's quite nice to pick up that heal. So a couple of basic cards we've seen before: Mockingbird, Queen Carrier. We will pick up our 3 normal energies, double cost energies. Then we've got 2 Against the World. So team up with Iron Man and War Machine. Hero action: search your deck for a tech upgrade and put it into play. Shuffle your deck, ready Iron Man and War Machine. So that's quite useful, isn't it? So you really want those 2 in there together as an event. That's really quite nice. No doubt we will see another one of those. Okay, so there were our basics. Then we're on to our obligation and equipment malfunction. You may flip to alter ego form, choose to either exhaust game modes and remove equipment malfunction from the game, or remove all ammo counters from your identity. If 2 or fewer ammo counters were removed this way, this card gains surge. Discard this obligation. Possibly punishing when you're really trying to get those ammo counters up to make a big attack, but also could catch you on the hop quite easily, gaining surge from that. Our minion nemesis is Living Laser with Quick Strike, and their attacks gain piercing. Okay. Then we have the Deadly Light Show. So it does have hinder 1 per hero, and when defeated, deal 1 damage to each identity, which can be quite punishing. And then 3 copies of Laser Strike. When revealed, discard and upgrade you control. If you cannot, this card gains Surge. And with a boost, if this resolves during an undefended attack, discard and upgrade you control. So really getting that punishment there for those tech upgrades, or upgrades in general. So could find itself quite punishing for any of the sort of tech or upgrade heavy decks. And our normal stock card with our pre-built deck. And we then have our extra cards for deck building. 3 copies of As One, which is an aggression event. Alliance, hero action, exhaust an Avenger character and a Guardian character. Deal X damage to that enemy, where X is the combined attack of those characters. This attack gains overkill. Now for 2 resources, that's not too bad. I think you're going to be netting possibly 4 or more from there. So that's really quite nice. Then we have 2 copies of Vigilante Training. Max 2 per deck. Uses 2 training counters. Exhaust the card, remove a counter, and choose a Justice event in your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. So recursion there, which is quite nice. 3 copies of Stand Together. So Alliance, when a friendly character would take any amount of damage from an attack, exhaust an Avenger character and a Guardian character, prevent all that damage, deal that much damage to the attacking enemy. It's quite costly. At 4, it's gonna be 4 costs plus 2 exhaustions. It's quite. I mean, it's a nice swing back. Could save a game, but it's gonna cost you to do it. Okay, we do have a second copy of 2 Against the World, so we can put that into our Iron Man deck, and then we have 3 copies of Sidearm with some menacing Punisher artwork. So hopefully that means we will be getting a Punisher at some point soon. So attached to an ally, max 1 per ally. Attached ally gets +1 attack, and its attacks game ranged. So quite nice really to go in a leadership deck and sort of build up any sort of aggro leadership deck that you might have. So thank you for joining us for this unboxing and run through of War Machine for Marvel Champions. If you haven't done so already, please check out other videos on the channel, give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.